Welcome to the Dreams of Consciousness podcast. If you'd be so kind, would you mind introducing yourself?
I'm Hubert from Deivos, and I'm the vocalist. And we are from Poland.
And Hubert, how would you describe the music of Deivos?
I would say it's just death metal, straightforward. Someone call us technical death metal. Uh, Others like more old school technical death metal. But yeah, I think that death metal is it's a definition of what we're trying to achieve with this band.
And would you say that
So
the style of death metal that you play uh, is similar to other Polish bands? Do you feel like you have a very Polish style of death metal?
uh, I don't think so because well, I don't think that we were much influenced by Polish death metal when we started the band and when the band was creating its own style. Uh, I think we mostly listen to classic death metal from, I don't know, from Florida. So Morbid Angel, Decide, Cannibal Corpse, Immolation, stuff like that, Suffocation, yeah, and but also death metal from Europe, Entomb, Dismember, and all the Swedish scene. So I would say that we're not a typical Polish death metal, in my opinion, at least. So these bands that I've mentioned, um, I think that this is the right direction when you want to compare us with other bands. We are well, we often been called by the name of technical death metal, but yeah, but we are technical in an old way. So we're not super technical, like blast all the time, and you've got hundreds of riffs in every track. So we're not like Expires or Origin. So maybe more like classics.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about the history of Deivos and how you ended up joining the band?
Yeah, as far as I remember, they were started in 1997. It was a three-piece band back then, with no live drummer, and in that way they've recorded, I think, the first demo praised by Generation. Uh, but then after that, they've catch up with Krzysztof Saran, which is David's drummer since then till now. So yeah, pretty long. And they play with Jarek, who was previous vocalist and bassist in till the third album. So he played first two albums with them, and then he splits up with the band, and then I join and Camille on bass. So yeah, and we've been in Davos since then.
So did you start on the Demiurge album?
Yes, The Image of the Void. It was the first album that I was involved with Davos. I was playing in other band before, but with Davos, it was my first album.
So you started as vocalist and bassist?
No, I'm only vocalist. I don't know how to play on anything.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah. No, so I join on vocal and Kamil Stadnicki on bass. On bass. So from the band that was from four members, there was suddenly five because this responsibilities to be vocalist and bassist needs to be split up, obviously.
Okay, I understand. Were you familiar with Deivos before you joined? Did you know the
Yeah, we're
guys?
from. Yeah, well, I know the guys because we're from the same city, so I knew them long before I joined to the band, and that's why they asked me to if I'm interested in helping them first in live shows and then to be the permanent vocalist.
So the the guitarist Thomas was the founding member. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
it's basically his band, his child, I could say.
Yeah. Okay. Does he write most of the music?
Yeah, he writes like all of the music when it comes to guitar, except the solos, which are performed by Piotr. On the second guitar, but yeah, all of the ideas is on music is from Tomasz.
Does he demo all the music by himself first before he presents it to the band, or do you guys arrange the songs together?
Well. hmm, Half that, half that. When at first we got the tracks of just guitar, and then our drummer needs to find out how to figure out his parts. Uh, so these two factors are made at first time. First the guitars, then drums, and then they play together at rehearsals. Uh, then they record the pre-production stuff and show us what they've made up. So and yeah, and then it's a part for rest of us to make our our part.
Okay. So Thomas and Christoph arrange the songs together. And then how complete are the songs when you hear them for the first time?
Well, it's a strange process because when I first heard the Deivos songs, I don't like them. Uh, really, at every record, I thought, oh my God, it will be the worst record ever, and I don't, and I need to do something about it, to save it. Yeah, but it's on first impression. I need to hear it. I need to hear the real guitar and real drum, and when like. They send us some materials on the tabs and stuff like that. Well, it's helpful for the guitarist, but I don't have that kind of imagination. Probably because I don't play on anything, so I need at least hear the recording from the rehearsal room, and then I got the idea how it can sound and where to put the vocals on which part, and basically how the climate of this record will be.
Okay, I understand. If you don't mind, I'd like to speak about your drummer style just for a little bit. Um, a lot of people have noticed that he really likes the cowbell. Do you know why that
Yeah,
is?
yeah, yeah. I know. Well, basically, it's not his idea originally, because Cowbell he borrowed the idea and he liked it from our friends from unfortunately the band don't play anymore from Paris side, maybe you have heard of, and their original drummer used the cowbell a lot, and when our drummer was also playing in Paris side. Well, he he used it also in Davos, and well, yeah, well, everybody like it, so it stays like that.
Hmm, cool. So at the time that we're having this conversation, Davos recently released their seventh album called Apophenia through Self-Made God Records. When did you guys start working on this album?
I think it was at the beginning of 2023.
Okay. Uh, did
Like
you?
maybe the ideas for this record came up before that in like Thomas head, uh, but I don't know. But we started like working, and like we said, okay, it's time to record new stuff. So let's get to work. So it was back then.
Okay. How would you compare the music of this album to your previous albums?
Well, I think it's darker atmosphere, I would say, but it's a matter of sound that we achieve uh, during the record and mixing and mastering. But also the riffs are determined that the album sounds in a way that it sounds. So lots of this. I think, yeah, well, like always, yeah, it's the best record to date because if if in other way, well, why we need to uh, release new records, right? So, comparing to our previous work, to our like most recent work, so for Casus Belli, I think it's fastest and more aggressive album for sure.
Do you remember what your reaction was when you first heard the songs for this album?
Mm, yes. Well, um, there's a lots of riffs in these albums, and the rhythm is constantly changing. So I thought, oh my God, what did they did? Where to put vocals? It's don't make sense. Uh, Something like that. And this was a struggle to put it to sound well, to sound good and to make space for the solos and not covering some ideas that Tomek would like to, sometimes he told me that don't put lyrics here because I think this riff is so good that everybody needs to hear it. Yeah, so yeah, it was not easy, but finally I think it's come out quite good.
How long did it take you to find the right places to put in the vocals and the right vocal phrasing?
Mm,
Like, does it take you a
that's
few weeks or does it
depends.
take you like a few months?
I would say per weeks if I have already written lyrics. So it's just like constantly uh, hearing this tracks and yeah, well, it's all happens in my head. So I'm just when I start to work, I work until it's done, and I don't want to push it through the time more than it needs to be. So a couple of weeks, I would say.
Do you want to say anything about the lyrics that you wrote for this album? What themes you explore?
So everything is circling around this idea of apophenia, which is the tendency to search connection between the things that are not connected, and there's nothing here. So like faces in the clouds or shapes or even seeing the face of the Jesus in a tree that was happened not long before. near the place where I live, and believers are were coming to that place, and were praying, and yeah, such lots of such bullshit. So yeah, it's about that. It's about obviously religious believers. It's about rituals like in the first track, I think, from the album Territory. Um, so yeah, about delusions and stuff like that connected to religion. So pretty always when I came to lyrics of Davis.
Where did you guys record this album?
It was various places. So drums was recorded at Roslin Studio, Poland, because our drummer, well, just loved the sound from the studio. He did records many albums there, not only with us, because he plays in various of bands. And guitars and vocals were recorded in Z Studio. The same studio that we already record, I think, yeah, previous three records. So uh, we know how to work there, and it's super cool. The sound is great, and there was also mixed and mastered there. And only bass and solos were recorded at home.
Yeah, your bassist and your guitarists recorded their solos independently at their own home studios?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, independently at the home. So as well, because yeah, in other life you are busy with your job and stuff like that. So it's you don't have the time to be in the studio sometimes.
sure. And as you mentioned, you've recorded at Z Studio with Tomek Zalewski for the previous three albums. What do you like about working there? What do you like about working with Tomek?
What I do well, like in work with Tomek. Well, first of all, that he's focused on how everything sounds. His focus on this. He make a copy of lyrics, so he follows uh, when I'm recording my vocals, and he pointed me out when I'm like uh, when I do something wrong, even when I spell English bad, but it's not my first language, so obviously I make mistakes. Uh, and if the lyrics with that came to my head doesn't quite fit in his idea where the lyrics should be on that track, well, he do tell me that, hey, I've got another idea. Let's just try doing this way. Yeah, so we record. Uh, for most of the parts, we sometimes do the record of my idea and his idea. We compare it and decide what was better. So yeah, that's cool. Not every it's not common in every studio. I've did record in some places where people, well, basically don't give a shit how you do it. Just do it and yeah, pay it and and fuck off.
Yeah. It sounds like you have a very close relationship with Tomek and that you trust him a lot.
Yeah, because he proved his skills. So yeah.
What would you say he brought to the sound of this album or to the sound of Davos?
What he brought
Yeah,
to
as
the
as a
sound of the
as a
Devos.
as a mixer, as mastering. Uh, in his role as a
Yeah,
producer?
I think he became better and better in every record because at first when we go to Z Studio with our let me check. I think it was the Odyssey album. Well, he was he didn't record so much death metal back then, so his ideas and expectation were different than from the producers that already work with death metal bands like us. You know? So yeah, and maybe that's why Apophenia sounds I think the best since Tell I see. I think. Uh, well, what he brings to the table. He's guitarist, so yeah, his ideas maybe how it should sound and how it should look has some influence, but I didn't thought about it like if this is something. I don't know how to say it. Uh, he do what he do, but yeah, it's our decision if it stays or not, if
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You mentioned that this album is darker. Do you think that part of that was what Tomic brought as to the mix?
Might be, but yeah, it's but the sound of the guitars determines the atmosphere as well. So the sound that Tomic think would be sufficient for our album plays big role on how it sounds.
Okay. I'd like to ask about the person who created some of the outros. Head One Beats? Is
Yeah,
it
Head One Beats. That's a project of our friend. Well, that's a project of our friend that we play in our second band called Ulcer. Uh, where where most of Deivos members play as well. So, but he like also us creating some electronic music. Uh, and he sometimes help us with intros, outros, and like this little industrial influence to put it in our records to make it, yeah, to create some atmosphere. Uh, I think he did a great job.
yeah. Uh was it was it always planned that he would create some outros for this album?
Mm, well, when it comes to intros, outros, and stuff like that, we think about it as the last thing on the album. So when everything else is ready, uh, yeah, we talk about how can we put something that there is not only death metal stuff, but to make some atmosphere for this record, and then we think about intros, outros, and stuff like that. But it's only like a little piece, an addition to the whole record. It's
Gotcha.
not that much important for us.
Okay. Just like a little bit of extra flavor for the album?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the album is out now. What do you have planned for the rest of the year? Do you guys have any shows coming up for the rest of the year or anything planned for next year, 2025?
We are starting to make this plan. We were not sure when the album will come up because Set God had lots of plans for other bands. So we were supposed to be released on somewhere in spring, but it becomes an autumn. So yeah, I'm starting to working about to schedule some gigs for us, mostly in Poland. There's one festival confirmed till now in Poland. For the 2025, it's called Injured Grind Attack. So we'll be playing there with a Flash Crawl and Brutally Disease from Czech Republic and many more bands. But yeah, mostly gigs, and I hope it will be lots of them.
So Apophenia is out now through Self-Made God Records. Hubert, please tell
Yeah.
everyone how they can order the album. What's the best way to get the album?
Yeah, the best way to get the album is to visit Self-Made God store and order it. Uh, we don't sell the album on our own, so the best way is to go to Self-Made God store.
And Self-Made God also created a box set for this, right?
Yeah, the wooden box, and there's some extra stuff in it besides of CD. There's I think poster and something like key holder, I guess. So if you like stuff like that, just order it. And later, I don't know if this year, I don't know the exact date, but there will be LP version of that album on Self-Made God. So check the Self-Made God store or check our Facebook fan page because there we will be informed about that briefly.
Does all your merch go through your Bandcamp page?
It will be there, so you might, if you like, you can order it through Bandcamp, or if you want to buy, I don't know, music in a digital format, you can also do it there. If you didn't like physical CDs for some reason,
Yeah. But all the t-shirts
yeah,
and
it's
stuff, all the t-shirts
yeah,
and
all
stuff go
this.
through Bandcamp?
Yeah, all the t-shirts and stuff. Well, like I said, it's the best way. It's you start it directly from Submit Gut store, but we'll have it on our gigs. So yeah, you can do it that way. We will appreciate.
Cool. And you mentioned the Facebook page. Uh, is there any other way that you want people to follow the band online?
At Facebook page, we got Bandcamp, and we've got YouTube channel, Deivos Official. So basically, this this way you can communicate with us, or you can just send us an email to davos@gmail.com. Simple as that.
Very cool. Do you want to say anything about any of your other projects?
Well, I got only one. That's Ulcer, but nothing to talk about it yet. We plan to make a new EP with our ideas that don't fit for the next album, but are good enough to be released. There will be some there will be some covers of old school bands and not only death metal bands. Uh, and it will be probably released by Self-Made God as well as Davis. So stay tuned, or I will inform on this on our Facebook mostly.
Very cool. Is there anything else you want to say?
I want to thank you for this interview. It was great to talk with you. And yeah, well, just listen to death metal. It's the best metal you can get.
Thanks so much, Hubert.
Thank you. Thank you. And see ya. Bye.